Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WCS NA Challenger. We're moving into our next match, and it is going to be a good old Protoss versus Terran. Another rematch from the Cheesadelphia that Future won as we go into Future versus Rob. My name is Fear Dragon. I am joined now by Zombie Grub. What's up? What are you typing?
Super important things.
Super important. Wow, you are actually just spamming this chat. Wow, okay. You know, the players are trying to focus here on this next upcoming match because the loser is going to get eliminated from Challenger. And Zombie Grub just can't let them focus. Keeps typing F,
Fear Dragon,
all kinds of things.
I just want to be a pro gamer. I just want to type start as quickly as possible, repetitively in lobby. That's what it takes, right?
Yeah. What are they typing now?
Well, since I messed up a billion times, I think they're making...
Oh, they're just making fun of you now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at this wannabe pro player. She thinks she has APM, but she can't even type properly.
Oh, excuse me. I actually do have some pretty good APM. I have some really good words per minute, actually. I found that out.
That's
WPM.
WPM, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what that
What is your words per minute in typing?
120.
Damn, that is good.
Yeah. That's why I went Tassadur's typing challenge.
Oh, yeah.
You knew that.
Yeah, but you know, there was a Twitch Rivals event. You didn't do so hot there.
Yeah, because I actually did okay in the other events, which is a big shock to me.
Oof,
It came at a sacrifice, though. I lost my title.
So I am super excited about this match because we already saw that Rob is willing to do some pretty crazy stuff out there. Nicknamed the Prank Toss by his performances at Cheesadelphia. He likes to do some funky stuff. Future knows that as well. These guys are actually friends. I think they actually play other games that I don't think I'm allowed to mention on the broadcast with each other. They have a good time. So I'm excited to see how this one's going to go as we start down here in the bottom right. Top of the red, Terran player from Team Infinity Gaming. He is Future.
Like
he is not 16 anymore.
I'm trying to think of what game they could play you can't mention. Top left.
Yeah.
As the Blue Protoss, it is Rob.
It's actually Doki Doki Literature Club.
I mean, I was gonna be like, Fear Dragon, they can play the Michael Jackson Sega game as much as they want. You don't have to be shy. Did you ever play that game?
Why would there be a problem with that?
No, that's why I'm saying, like, they can do that. Why would there be a problem with that, Fear Dragon?
That's
clearly the game they're playing.
That's just such a random thing. It's like, well, yeah, you know, clearly you can say that they like playing checkers against them. Like, why checkers?
Why is Doki Doki Literature Club bad?
Wait, have you never played that?
It's not like they're playing Honeypot.
Yeah. Oh, God. All right, so this PvT. I do want to note that that whole Blink DT stuff that Rob was doing, he's been doing that kind of style or mixing it in every X number of games for a long time. And I'm actually really happy that I can actually now talk about the stuff that he did versus Masa at Cheesadelphia. Future was supposed to be at Cheesadelphia, but his flight got canceled last second. It was Easter Sunday, so he can get another flight and everything. Really unfortunate, but Rob was doing all sorts of crazy stuff to Masa, who's another Terran player. He was doing cannon rushes. He was going for Colossus drops and the Disruptor drops that we saw. He was doing proxy gates. He loves trying to throw his opponent off, and I think one of the things he struggles with the most and why Masa gives him so much trouble is that Masa throws him off his game plan first usually. So I actually want to see Future kind of get in Rob's face. That's usually how Rob ends up getting kind of on the struggle bus.
Okay, that makes sense, because the game I cast of Rob's qualifying, I don't know if it was like his actual qualifying match, but it was something that he did to advance on against Pure Legacy, actually, was that he was quite good in the mid and late game. Actually, they had pretty good PvT back and forth. But yeah, if he's going to be like kind of thrown off his build or his idea, then that might be what really works against him. But he is the one going for something aggressive. Proxy Stargate. There it is. I was like, is that just going to leave? Like, what?
It's a proxy Twilight Council on Darkshrine in the usual location for a Stargate. Now, this SCV is actually going kind of a little bit uncomfortably close.
It's going for... Oh, no, it's going the wrong way.
Yeah. Got a little bit sidetracked. So the Stalker is going to be able to clean that up, and I want to note that there was no Reaper or anything opening up here, so Rob doesn't have to worry about that. He can actually, if he wants to, move across the map and just poke forward with an Adept and a Stalker.
So this should be an okay opener for Future, I want to say. Like, the Hellions can deal with, oh, you know what? No, that's actually more than, well, we'll see. The Hellions can help deal with this, but he has a bunker, so that's why I think it's okay. And then if you followed up with 2 Widow Mines immediately, you'd actually be pretty okay.
It's a bunker with 1 Marine.
Well,
and there's no more Marines being made right now.
Yeah, so Rob would, I guess, know that from the opening. No, there wouldn't be much in the bunker, but it's not really worth running past the bunker because 2 more Hellions want to pop out, or 2 more Widow Mines. Now, the Widow Mines come out actually after 4 Hellions, so they're not going to be quite in time for the Oracle that's proxied, and that's where I'm like, oh, that's the problem.
Oh, it's going to run over it?
It's already too late, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to spot the Stargate and everything, but he will at least spot out where that Stargate is, and you'll see that another Oracle's being made behind this. The fresh Mule gets picked off. Couple SCVs getting picked off. Widow Mines, Widow Mines! Okay, and he loses the Oracle, and he also doesn't soften up a lot of the SCVs.
Yeah.
Sometimes the Widow Mine, like, it'll do the friendly fire. It doesn't kill the SCVs, but it weakens them. And the second Oracle could have come in and started one-shotting workers, but he just retreats back home in that Oracle. Wants to help defend against the Hellion drop.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward because the Hellion should be taken very seriously. There's not that many units quite yet. You see the 2 gateways only just finishing
Oh, they go
up.
to the main. That's where all of Rob's units are not.
That's where they should be going. There's not a lot of Sim City to help out here, so that's going to be a lot of probe damage.
Kills 1 Hellion. They can still one-shot workers, but the shield battery finishing up is a big deal. 4 workers of damage with 4 Hellions there. If he doesn't take too much more, that's actually not the end of the world.
The Oracle.
Oh,
Everlasting Oracle.
Phoenix is going to help out a lot. I wouldn't mind him lifting up one of these Hellions.
Yeah,
too late now.
The
That's
Oracle
okay.
coming back in time was quite helpful, but still, if the medevac didn't die, I would say 8 probes is like really, you know, yeah, it's what you want, I guess, from Hellions. But the medevac also died, so but then the proxy Stargate didn't really work out either, so it's one of those more interesting openers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the proxy Stargate isn't actually going to get sniped off in the immediate future, so you can make another Oracle there. You can actually get back up to a decent count to like Revelation consistently.
Yeah. I think the weird thing, though, for me is that I wouldn't want him to continue producing from the Stargate. I would say that like 1 Oracle is enough, right? Revelation, and then 1 Phoenix.
That's all
right?
I need.
Why get a 2nd Oracle?
I think the second...
Or 3rd in this case. Ha!
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's why you get a 2nd Oracle. I was actually like unjokingly about to say.
If he hadn't gotten the 2nd Oracle, it would have been fine. That was the only one that was going the direction.
Oh boy. Oh my God. Okay, get a 4th Oracle now.
Okay. All right. I'll give you this one.
The Phoenix at least survives, so he'll be able to help out if there's like a Liberator or something that comes out, even if it is a bit softened up. But Viking of the Cyclone, gonna walk across over to that proxy Stargate, snipe it off. No more Oracles gonna be made here for Rob.
Legitimately, I was thinking that Future was going to be able to defend well against anything in the future.
Okay, Rob is banking a lot of resources. And now he's throwing up a Nexus. Okay, there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, he got up to almost 1,000 resources, and he stopped at 44 workers for a long while. So I was wondering, like, is this gonna be a fake out Nexus?
No, he was just saving up for the Nexus, the Colossus, and the range for the Colossus. Yeah. Plus, like, I feel like Protoss, kind of as a whole, don't really start oversaturating their natural, and so their 3rd's like halfway done. But yeah, you see, he's starting to build again. Anyways, the tables have really gone from like that weird, like, okay, maybe they both did damage to each other, to Rob investing into a lot of air units that are just not, they literally don't exist anymore, right? There's a Phoenix for scouting and 1 Sentry for maybe hallucination. But this turned into quite a poor opener, I would say, for Rob, who doesn't have any sight on his opponent except for when he suicides something in, like said Phoenix, because that would probably die. I guess this Observer might just be planted perfectly so that Future doesn't see it. But Future does have a Raven, so that isn't even supposed to be doing a lot itself.
Oh, okay, controlling the Observer well is going to keep it alive, and it's hard for Future to really chase after that unless he has a medevac with his Marines. And he does have 1 further off to the right, but doesn't decide to try and find that Observer once again. So Observer's going to survive for a little bit. He also knows where that Widow Mine was and saw that it got picked up, so that Phoenix is going to be useful, at least chipping away at the medevac as it pops its way into the main. Yeah,
at least it's going to track it. Give him a little bit of a heads up. And maybe it'll have to be sacrificed because of that. The attack on the south side is going to be potentially still pretty good.
Wow, medevac barely dodged out of the way of that Phoenix. Disruptor number 1 is about to pop, which might actually time out really, really well to help deal with the drop.
Okay, the drop could do a lot of damage. I'm a little surprised that Future pulled back. He didn't actually see the army, what it looks like, and he does have a Raven against a Colossus build here, so Usually gives you some potential. The Phoenix still not responding to this. Has he just forgotten about it? Well, I mean, he's not.
Yeah.
He's going to be reminded here.
Okay, get some damage done, and all the Widowmines are on cooldown, so there's not a whole lot they can do to actually push back that Phoenix for a little bit, but I think they'll actually be off cooldown soon-ish. Yeah, Phoenix can keep up with that, buddy.
Yeah. He's not going to save it.
I mean, even
So
if he kills the medevac, it's still something. That's not bad.
Yeah. Now he doesn't have anything to see the potential future drops, though, but maybe Future is not thinking about that. Again, back to this main army, which is a decent size. It's got a lot of Marauders. It does have that Raven. None Vikings, right? It's not going to be able to take down the Colossus that way, but he can just take them out of the fight temporarily.
Yeah, big disruptor shot could really, really change the tide of things here. He's up to 3 Colossus. That one disruptor, I mean, I think one thing that Rob has definitely done a great job of in the past is actually sniping off a lot of Widowmines with those disruptors, which oftentimes can be sort of the easier targets because the Widowmines are the ones that sort of stay in one position, but oh god, one Colossus getting caught.
Oh, the other one.
No, it manages to survive, and Future doesn't manage to jump on top of it fast enough, and now the Disruptor coming back. It doesn't really hit a whole lot, but Future is trapping himself here.
That did not end up being worth it. The Colossus barely survived.
The shield batteries were so helpful.
Oh my gosh. But even if that had died, I do not believe that was worth it.
No, it wasn't.
There was a lot of micro that was happening there. There's a lot of split-second decision-making that was happening, and it turned worse for Future, who if he had like a concave with a direct fight, maybe that Raven is more useful. Maybe it's a better trade, but Future, maybe even there's a problem with his hotkeys or something, maybe some spikes that caused that to be even more awkward than it initially was going to be.
Yeah. Well, he's going to try and figure stuff out. Rob, of course, also has a moment to just sort of think about what's been going on in this game, figure out what he wants to do next. He's cleaned up that very scary-looking attack for came in.
Yeah, I feel like Rob's not the one that's benefiting from this time.
Oh, no. I think Rob was starting to build a little momentum. And Rob is actually, he is pretty emotional. Someone in my room.
Hopefully someone you know.
Mom! I mean, he is still 17. He is still in high school, so he is still living at home with his parents.
No, no, totally, man.
All right, we're back in the game. It's underway. So that Raven is going to be extremely useful, but it's just one Raven that is going to have a lot of targets who wants to try and interference matrix. It has a ton of energy, but it's not just the 3 Colossus. It's going to be soon the 2 Disruptors as well. So it's going to need to nail these all quickly. And he already uses 2 interference matrices. Disruptor shot going off. Oh, these force fields are so clutch. They buy exactly the time he needs for those Colossus to come off.
Are you kidding me?
A full ring, perfectly placed. You couldn't ask for better force fields.
I've never seen an entire concave of force fields on this map. That's so many force fields. Future. Oh man, he really wanted to take advantage of the interference matrix.
Oh, he sees this. He sees it. And I think he might have gotten the Observer outside of the range of the Raven just in time, so Future didn't see the Observer.
Oh gosh. Oh no. He misscans?
Oh, okay. He backs off in time. I mean, I guess when your entire army is loaded up into these medevacs, you only have one place to look.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Good point. Okay, so that could have been a disaster, but it's all good. It's all good. Back to the main fight. I mean, the Raven's still alive. That'll always contribute to the fight, but that Disruptor count is growing, and the charges on the ground are also a serious threat. We do not have really any splash damage on the ground, only 2 Widowmines, and then just like so many Marauders. These Liberators, though, I guess blindsiding Rob, who is going across the map. We are potentially going into base race territory here.
Stalker's blinking into the main base underneath the meta. No, actually, wait, where did they go?
They're on the side.
Oh no, he had a few of them ready, but then he doesn't actually have enough anymore. So now this is, like you said, going into the base trade. Rob snipes off this 3rd base, but at the same time, he's going to be losing his main base and a lot of his tech.
He's not paying attention to his natural or his 3rd either, so he's losing probes that really shouldn't be going down right now. And that might not matter. It might not. But it also could be the reason he doesn't have any probes for later on, or doesn't have as many minerals later on to rebuild Nexus.
Oh, Zombie Grub, there's no Stalkers with the main army over here.
Couple Liberators could absolutely save his main base, but he doesn't have them out yet. He's only building 1. Otherwise, he does have a concave of a lot of Marauders, so that'll chew through some of the army.
Okay, knocks down the supply. Supply depot actually gets lowered instead, so the disruption shots can move forward, but he uses all of them.
Chase. Oh, chasing that is such a dangerous thing to do.
He just saw that all 3 Disruptor shots came out.
But he's really weak with no medevac, so those Colossus can actually take it down. And then, yeah, you're not guaranteed to shoot the Disruptors, kill them before they get another shot off.
Rob is going in for it. He's going to be able to take out a lot of this army, but at the same time, Rob is losing he's lost all of his main base. He's losing his natural, and he doesn't really have a lot of production anymore.
I don't know if you, okay, so, oh, no.
Okay.
Entire offensive army going down to that Disruptor. Are you kidding?
Wow, so Rob, he only has 8 workers left over, but he has 3 bases, and he's going to get some of these medevacs as well.
Oh, no.
Rob is up in army supply now, 81 to 65. He still has that army of Colossus, some Disruptors alive and well, but he doesn't have an economy to fall back to, so he has to get back across the map and continue the damage after he's pushed back these Liberators.
This game is my favorite. Just want you to know that.
This is why I was so hyped. This is why I couldn't sleep for 3.5 hours, because I said, this group, this is going to be so damn hype.
Future has 3 bases. Well, one's, I guess, lifted. But he is mining. He has production still up. I think this is a great... I mean, he must have actually swapped his starport up. Yeah, he did, to an open tech lab to build a Raven. I think that's very good, especially because, not just that it's good as interference matrix, right?
Oh my god, the Stargate, he's going after the Stargate, which is actually going to give Rob maybe a sense of security here to move into the 3rd base.
Okay, but also the Raven could be in case DTs ever popped out. But on to the actual attack, Future is still not healed up from all of those stims. He doesn't have that many medevacs. He actually cannot take on this army, especially if the Disruptors get any decent shots. So he loses his 3rd base economy. The recall is down in the natural. I think it's the only place it could be. No, it's on the 4th. Liberator sees that. He's going to have to run away from it, but look how injured his army is.
Yeah, I think this is getting really dangerous. I don't think he can,
he
can't fit all of his army into those medevacs either. Only so many units can get out.
Okay, he's actually going to be able to escape, at least with some of it.
He's going to escape with maybe, like, what, 16 Marauders?
Lift and leave. Yeah, but I thought that was going to go even worse. Luckily, the Stalkers could not actually blink into so many Marauders, and the Colossus were lagging a bit behind. He does snipe another Nexus, so Rob is down to 1 Nexus, mining with 9 probes.
I'm with you on that, Zombie Grub, but he only had 9 workers anyways, so, like, what use was the extra Nexus going to be?
The only reason I'm really pointing that out, besides, like, double pro productions and a single pro production, is that Future could also try and just snipe bases.
That's true.
Just go, like, full pult mode, right?
And then force at least a minimum of a draw, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got the Stargate.
That one Phoenix! That one Phoenix from earlier!
That would be the most amazing end to the series. But instead, Rob is going to try and force a decision to be made, I suppose.
Rob doesn't have
his army.
Rob doesn't even have a cyber core. He can't actually make more Stalkers, nor can he actually even start up a Stargate right now.
I don't know. His army's still very injured.
Widowmine doesn't connect with any... Okay, and the Stalkers blink out. He's going to lose the Widowmine. He's going to lose maybe a medevac here. No, doesn't. Siege! Okay, well, Disruptors alone are going to be able to zone out a good chunk of this army if he's patient with it. Here comes an anti-armor missile, stopping up this army. There's the Liberator sieging on up. Disruptors in range of those Liberators. 2 of them, one of the Liberators, or sorry, the Disruptors go down. Force fields get thrown out. Another Disruptor ends up falling over here. The anti-armor missile is starting to wear thin, but I think that this army for Rob is starting to disappear.
I can't believe it. Future coming back with still a severely injured Marauder army is able to drop on top of it. And all those Colossus just become so ineffective when that happens. Disruptor misses and reveals itself, so it will be taken down. That Liberator also being an unsung hero for that defense. Rob is down to the Gateway army we saw defend his main.
1-1 versus 2-2.
Yes, it is.
So it's hard for him to take good, cost-efficient trades here. This Bioforce is still softened up. He signs off one of the medevacs, which I really like the decision, but he loses all of his zealots. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 10 army supply 31, and guess what? One of these players is making units and the other is not. GG!
Oh my god, Future takes that game while he's researching Marauder slow. He didn't have slow for that entire game. That would have been so helpful with the way that he was playing.
Wow, what a heck of a way to start game number 1 of this best of 3 series. Loser gets eliminated from WCS Challenger, and Rob gets himself in an almost really good spot, but then Future claws his way back in there with the base trade.
I don't know, man. Maybe that pause did affect Rob more.
I actually do think that it does affect him a good bit, but I don't know if I'm going to pin that loss on just that pause.
That was so crazy insane, and also just... I mean, maybe it's like the Terran bias working in that weird way where I'm looking at I'm like being more critical of the Terran. I'm like, no, you should have lost that, and you know that too. I mean, once again, Future, I don't even say that he's over-stimming. Sometimes he is.
Yeah.
You know, understandably so, but it's just that his decision-making is all like, I'm already here, guess I'll go for it. And before he can even actually take a fight, he's lost like half of his health. That happened in his TVZ as well.
Yeah, I think for him, especially in like a lot of these base trade situations, a lot of the time, if there are like key units, like a Colossus or something, and you're able to kill the Colossus in this base trade, that's not really probably going to get remade. Like then I see that there's a big juicy target there, right? You're like, okay, if I take this out, that's most of the Protoss firepower. It's not like a normal PvT where they're going to just rebuild them, and if I trade out too much army, it's bad. It's like, no, actually, if I just kill all the Colossus, suddenly it's 2-2 bio versus 1-1 gateway.
Yeah. I mean, I do not blame his first attack, the one before the pause, where he was like, oh my god, a free Colossus. Well, kind of. Like, he did still maneuver his way into the natural and knew he was going to be somewhat trapped, and that's always very dangerous. But the other attempts to run by the natural, I was like, is that really the best thing to do right now? Especially because, I mean, yeah, it's all about those big, heavy supply, heavy, important units, not so much the mass charge lots. But that's where the Raven is so important. So usually that's when we see the Terrans go like, oh, I don't need to dive on that. I don't need to make Vikings a dive on that. I'll just interference matrix and get a concave. But not Future. Nah, he's like, no, I want it. I'm going to take it out.
Young, rash, and bold. We're going to get to see game number 2 loading on up. We're going to Kairos Junction. And, I mean, Rob has had a bit of a rough day today because I know versus Masa, he was able to take a game versus Masa, but I know that he wanted more after what happened at Cheesadelphia. He specifically was trying to hold off on some of his strategies and stuff at Cheesadelphia just for this particular group and everything. He was saying that in the interviews there. So I know he really wants to be able to do well in WCS Challenger. So this is an important match for him. No more excuses, no more losses accepted anymore. He's got to win this, 2-0.
Yeah, and that kind of brings me to a point, you know, maybe we would have made in the beginning, but that got interesting fast. That Rob, like, he comes into this group not as someone we just immediately dispel, and we're just like, nah, you don't have any chance, right? Like, there's actually a chance for everyone in this group because Masa can sometimes be hot and cold, although usually he brings it out and still wins, right? But Rob has been, as you look at his scores against the other guys in this group, he has been either not able to take them out at all or like only just barely for like a while now, and that might still be the curse that he's dealing with.
I mean, Rob, so this is the thing about Rob is that I really, really feel for this guy, and he is going to go for the proxy gate. This is something he was doing versus Masa at Cheesadelphia and stuff, which he did get messed up with a little bit by the Reaper, so we'll see how that plays out. But Rob is one of those players that I have been on board this guy's like hype train for a long time, but the problem is he gets in his own head. He is oftentimes his own worst enemy. He'll get into good spots, and then he'll throw the game. He'll put too much pressure on himself. He'll get too excited. He gets too cute with his plays and everything, and that he is oftentimes his biggest enemy, and that's actually the reason why I think he struggles so much versus Masa, because when you play versus Masa, it's actually a 1 versus 2. You're playing versus Masa, and you're also playing versus yourself, because Masa pits yourself against yourself. He is really good at that.
Yeah, it's just either X, Y, Z reason. There's some either one, whatever.
Yeah.
Rob is not quite able to beat out some of these other up-and-comer NAs, so while he is potentially going to be great, it's not quite there yet, and he once again is struggling here. He could be out last, despite being, I think, a reasonable group for him.
I want to see a turnaround, though, Zombie Grub. Last week, Cheesadelphia 9, he got second place there. He was able to get a really good run.
He's already being read. Like Future figured things out. He SCV scouted. He's totally prepared for this. So that's why I'm really driving that home. That like, he's already down 1-0 in the losers match, and he's gotten figured out here. Doesn't mean it's the end of the game entirely. I mean, even this is like kind of a weird thing because Future isn't defending this while getting his command center on the high ground. He's actually responding with a factory. So, oh wait, what?
The depot was. So here's what happened. Future had an SCV at Rob's natural, and he was trying to engineering bay block, so he was busy looking at that and planting down the engineering bay, so he didn't see the Zealot and the Stalker moving up the ramp and the depot being down, so he should be ready for it this time.
Yeah, I guess it didn't end up mattering. I wonder if Rob should have actually tried to enter in the main, though.
It's so risky there, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at least this way you're guaranteeing the denied natural for at least a little while longer. Whereas if you had gone up to the main, maybe they do live the depot and your second stalker doesn't get up and it's awkward.
Yeah. Well, Zealot is going to take a lot of damage here. The Marine's going to do their best to survive. Rob, of course, has his Nexus on the way behind this. It's actually not too much further behind or ahead of Futures, so it is just about the tech advantage that Futures getting. Recalls one stalker back home because he sees that the SCV is there and he really wants to throw down the next wave of tech. Has his Robo going up, and it's a little bit further north. He is actually going to be able to hide that.
I guess it doesn't matter that he recalls a unit away, but he also didn't have to use the energy on a recall, I feel. The SCV obviously guarantees a scout.
Wait a sec. Is that Warp Gate really late?
Probably. It feels really late.
Like, I'm even for a proxy gate, like, you don't get a super late Warp Gate.
Oh, God, no, I know. I'm pretty sure that is just straight up late.
Oh.
Weird decisions being made. I think that could have been another chrono, and instead, he doesn't even deny the SCV scout. It actually gets a full scout, and Future does get his natural.
It didn't see the Robo.
No.
So that's why he recalled it, because he saw the SCV coming in, and they denied it from going further north. Because he wants to go. Oh, he wants to go into disruptor drops. I think. Yeah.
So that did work out. Future could have suicided the SCV, and I'm surprised he didn't. He actually tried to escape with it.
Yeah. I think it was like part of a hope there for a little bit of a mind game. It's like, no, I have a stalker over here. You should just retreat or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Either way, split decision making. You're right. We do see the Robo Bay about halfway finished up, though, and we'll see Rob most likely going into more disruptor drops. I mean, we saw how effective those disruptors can be for Rob.
Yeah.
It's quite good with them.
It was kind of weird, though, because Masa didn't even really strongly respond to those disruptors.
You know, it's actually funny because I think that at Cheese Adelphia, I keep going back to Cheese Adelphia, but again, guys, like that series was like 5-6 days ago at this point. So it's very fresh in their mind. They played 7 games against each other. Rob went for a lot of disruptor drops there as well, and I don't actually think he got a couple of really good, he got like one game where the disruptor drops worked really well. The other games, like most of the hits weren't that bad, so I think that's why maybe Masa under-respected it a bit. Ooh.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what happened. They usually don't get a lot of damage done. Is this really worth it? Versus 10? It takes out tanks really quickly. I don't have that much.
So I know that he has done this a lot versus like big marine tank pushes as well. That's where it really finds a lot of value. Being able to like elevator to the correct position, snipe off the tanks from the backside and stuff as soon as the marines poke forward. We'll see how effective it is here. Widow Mines, oh my god. All right.
To deny that even more, the stalkers are chasing the medevac.
Yeah.
Good deny of the mining time. That's how long that took to clean up. The scout did happen though with that medevac. But it's weird because it's going to be expecting a disruptor, not 2 immortals as quickly.
Yep, and the immortals actually have sustained firepower compared to the disruptor, so
they can also go after the tech labs.
Oh, they're going to be able to snipe up combat shields, and then they can go after Sim. You don't know which one you're getting, but here we go. Interference Matrix on the Warp Prism to prevent the pickup, but I think that these immortals are going to be able to survive through it.
Well, yeah.
Okay, there's another one.
There's another one.
Oh, he sniped off a tank, though. That was nice.
Another
immortal.
But loses both immortals.
Oh, nice save.
Okay, all right. He loses one immortal, and this one is very...
Oh, no, Rob,
it's very dead. It's very dead. That's what I was going to say. He also didn't grab Stim, which is the ideal. He grabbed combat shields. You just can't tell. So, was that worth it? There's so many question marks in these games. I don't think it was.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I mean, disruptors on the way. The irony also is that your opponent gets Stim, which is going to be great for dodging the disruptor shots. Imagine if you gotten combat shield, or sorry, if you gotten Stim instead.
Right.
If he had sniped that off, then it's like combat shield doesn't matter because the disruptor doesn't care about combat shields.
That's a decent hit. Yeah, exactly. No, Stim was definitely the best to get there. But not expecting the army to meet him like this. Almost loses the Raven.
He still has the Warp Prism alive, right? So the Warp Prism is going to be useful in trying to get behind these units as well. The disruptor, sniping off the tanks. And you can see that Future is actually starting to respect this. He's lost a lot of units.
Yeah. His armor supply isn't bad, but a lot of that is back at home, right? So this army is kind of small to the mass amount of stalkers we have here, but Blink has only just started. That is a very deceiving army. Nice little hit there. 7 SCVs go down. And the War Prism continues to survive. He is going to send out Viking, which is something that Masa didn't really bother to even try to go for, to try and chase it, but he's guessing that it moved away and actually just stayed in place.
Yeah, Liberator out also for Future. I just want to note that was really one of the big things that helped him win that last game. Another 4 workers going down here.
The Viking, is it going to be able to chase it this time? It's such a low War Prism that if it hits it, like, yeah, okay, there it goes. So
it's a Speed Prism, though.
Isn't there another one? No, it's a Liberator. Oh, and the third CC is going to get sniped!
Oh! Disruptor also zones out the army for a split second. Another Disruptor! Oh my god! The last second interference matrix saving lives by the dozens.
Oh my god.
Another one of these Disruptors is going to get picked off, and Blink is still another 20 seconds away from finishing. His army is so stimmed up, but he can still afford 1 or 2 more stims.
Yeah, Future I think might just win with this push. He's up 40 army supply.
Just give up the third. I think you just have to give up the third and defend your natural.
It's in that War Prism and he's not bringing it forward. I think you might be right. That's the only chance he's got. But even after killing the third CC, that isn't really a fair trade for the Protoss here, as he also lost so much army.
Oh, loses 7 more workers to a Widowmine drop in the main base. The medevac does get sniped off with the Widowmine as well. Disruptor goes off. It doesn't really hit a whole lot, but this army is still stimmed up. There should be 1 more Disruptor. Where's that other Disruptor?
He
lost track of it. I think the Blink Stalker Micro is helping out a lot versus the Stim Bio. The Marauders are all basically getting 2-shot or 1-shot here. Is it going to be enough? He's going to be able to wait for another rally and reinforcements, so he's down to 42 workers, and even workers for a Protoss player is not good.
Yeah, this is unfortunately it. Maybe if there had been 1 more Miracle Disruptor shot, he'd be able to hold, but he'd still be down on that third as Future rebuilds his own.
Snipes off the Siege Tank, snipes off some of the Widow Mines here. Blinks back before he can set off the Widow Mines. The Marauders are going to cause a lot of problems, and the Disruptor being on cooldown really hurts. GG, Future takes a 2-0. Oh, action-packed series there. Future takes the 2-0, but it doesn't tell the story of how ridiculous those games were.
Yeah, still a fun series to watch. People are like, what should I watch? I'm going to say the losers bracket is the funnest game so far. Anyways, Future does gain another life here to show us even more cool games, because his TVZ was also pretty darn good.
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how Future's going to be able to hold up versus whoever he faces off in that decider match to keep his hopes alive. Big shout out to Rob, by the way. I know that he has been practicing really hard. He's been investing a lot of time into StarCraft. And hopefully you guys at least were impressed by some of his plays, some of his shenanigans of the prank toss.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think if we had seen him versus Silky, maybe we've seen his unique PvZ, even more fans, but that was a pretty epic PvT.
Yeah.
And unfortunately fallen short. It does still seem to be that kind of like, I say it's a curse, but it's not really, but just like he's not quite pushing past these other guys that are also elevating, right? He's amongst this new recruit of graduates, but he kind of it's like number 15 as opposed to number 1 or something like that.
It's tough. But of course, guys, we are going to be moving into our next match. That is the winner's bracket match, and that is going to be between Masa and Silky. Oh, that's going to be a pretty awesome match as well. As I think that, oh man, I think this is a rematch. You know, there have been so many Cheesadelphias in so many matches, so I'm pretty sure this is a rematch for one of the semis, but it's going to be a really fun one. Who do you think is going to win? Let us know in the chat. See you guys soon.